Hey guys, I hope you are having a great day today on this Wednesday. We are going to begin for our day 7 of our NTI. So, as always, on the upper left hand side, make sure you have your name written down. Make sure you have your class period written down as well. And then make sure that you have the date. So, today's date is the 15th, but if you're doing this ahead of time, still put that date on there, or if you are maybe a little behind, put that same date just to keep it more organized for us. So, our title of our lesson today for day 7 is How Are Triangles Constructed? So, you briefly talked about triangles yesterday and wrote notes for that. And then today we're going to use our angles to construct those triangles. So today, first off, we want to start by saying that triangles are constructed of 3 angles that have a sum of 180 degrees. So what this means is that those 3 angles inside of a triangle all equal, when added up together, 180 degrees. So here's a triangle here. We have angle A, we have angle C, and we also have angle B. So when those 3 angles are added up, the degrees of all of those added together equals 180 degrees. And this is specifically for a triangle. So we are looking at our protractor today. So for today's lesson, you do need to have a protractor. So if that means you print off a copy of one, which I will have attached to our lesson for today, or if you already have one at home, and then if you don't have either of those 2 options, you can always just put your paper on the screen or by the screen, and you can trace this protractor. So I'm going to give you some time to do that. This protractor specifically goes up by 5s and 10s. So if you see, we've got our 5s with the red marks and 10s right here. So we've got 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and above. So make sure you have that. It is needed for today. And I know being at home, it's kind of difficult to work with a protractor, especially if you're writing it down, but also make sure that you've written it on a different sheet of paper. So pause the video now and do that. So we are going to start by making an angle that is 75 degrees. We're going to do that one together so that we all make sure we know how to use a protractor to make an angle. And then we are going to also individually, I want you guys to do a 105 degree angle. And then the last angle that I'm going to have you guys do by yourselves first before we go over it is a 28 degree angle. So all of those angles we are going, or 29 degrees, sorry. All of those angles we are going to go over today. We're going to go in detail for the 75 degree angle. And on your sheet of paper, I just need to see those angles written while using your protractor from a different sheet of paper. So let's go over how to do the 75 degree angle. So I'm going to click over to the protractor. You guys do not have to write it on your protractor. You can just write it below where you wrote these angles at on your paper and use your protractor separately so it doesn't ruin it and you can use it again. So our first one is that we are going to go to our protractor, and we see here that we've got 0 over here on the side, and we go and count up to where we need to go to. So this is 75 degrees. And so I've put a dot at 0 and a dot at 75, which 75 is right here. And I've drawn a line from 0 to my center. So 0 is here and my center is here. And then we have to draw a line from our center to 75 degrees. So you'll see me write that as well. And it will make a 75-degree angle. So our next one, you see me writing this. And when you draw these lines here, you might want to use a straight edge piece of paper to help draw it. Or you can put your paper on top of the protractor if you can see it through the paper. But either way, this is how you draw an angle. If your lines aren't perfectly straight, it will be okay. I do understand. But this is our angle, and this angle here in the center is 75 degrees. So that makes a 75-degree angle. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to do this yourself. Remember, you can pace yourself for this. If you need more time, pause the video for longer. If you need less time, then you can fast forward. But you're going to do the 105-degree angle and 29-degree angle. So we're back, and we are doing the 105-degree angle. So I've already gotten my 0 line written, and we did that for the last angle. So now we're going to count to 105. So we've got to 100, and 105 is that next little red mark. Like I said, those red marks are 5s, and the other marks, bigger ones, are 10s. So we know that we're going to put our dot right there just so you can see it. And we're going to draw from the center to our dot. And I kind of messed up a little bit on that one, so I'm going to redraw it. So my line's not perfectly straight. I did use a straight edge, but still not straight. And so this angle right here that I'm going to draw in pink is a 105-degree angle. It goes from 0 to 105. So that makes it a 105-degree angle. And you can see it is definitely an obtuse angle. It is greater than 90 degrees. And then our last one, which is 29 degrees, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to count up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then count up to 29. And each individual knot is 1. So I will draw my line from there. I'm going to make a dot where I just marked, and it will be 29 degrees. So I will draw a line from that mark to my center line. So now this angle in the middle right here will now make, that I'm going to label to, is making a 29-degree angle. And you can tell that this angle as well is an acute angle. It is definitely less than 90 degrees because it is smaller than 90 degrees. And so we'll put our little mark for an angle. Let me redo that mark. And we will put that mark for the angle and to signify that it's less than 90 degrees. And this is a 29-degree angle. So make sure you've written all 3 of those angles on your paper. Like I said, you do not have to write them on the protractor. Just write them, use your protractor to write them on your notes paper, because you will need that protractor again for part 2.